On today's episode of the Ticklish podcast, a professional golfer from Sydney, Australia, who currently resides in Nashville, Tennessee. He started playing golf professionally in 2017 at the age of 21. He played on the PGA Tour Latin America for the 2018 and 2019 seasons. He moved up to the KornFerry Tour for the 2020 and 2022 seasons. He took his first professional win by 4 strokes at the 2022 Huntsville Championship.
Really?
With that victory, he had enough points to graduate from the KornFerry Tour Q School up to the PGA Tour. He was one of 4 players featured on the PGA Tour Q School docu-series The Turn, documenting Q School graduates as they transition into their PGA Tour rookie season. He has played in events such as the Fortinet Championship, Sony Open in Hawaii, RBC Canadian Open, AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, Waste Management Phoenix Open, and the Players Championship. His highest finish on the PGA Tour is 10th in the Butterfield Bermuda Championship. Currently ranked 459th in the official Golf World Ranking.
Harrison Endycott just cruising to the victory here at Q School, presented by KornFerry.
Ranked 188th in the PGA Tour's race for the FedEx Cup, and playing in the John Deere Classic this week.
Not an easy shot here to get up and down. Wow.
Goodness gracious.
How about that birdie at last?
Harrison Endycott.
What brought you to Nashville from Sydney, Australia? Why just stop at Nashville? What do you like about it? Is it just because it's central located?
Well, actually, it's funny. I've been in the States now for 6 years, and I was actually in Scottsdale for 5. And I met my wife now.
Congratulations.
Oh yeah, thank you. Commiserations to her. But no, it was she was working in Scottsdale. I met her there. I kind of knew she was the one straight away and all this type of stuff, and it was great, and we lived together for 5 years, and we loved Scottsdale. I loved it. A few opportunities presented itself to her. We got some friends, I got some friends in Nashville, bunch of tour reps and caddies, and a few other players lived there, and when we were looking to kind of move, definitely, buy a house and all that type of stuff. We're actually right in the middle of building one at the moment, so we should be completed in end of September. So we're super excited about that, and it was just right for us, like we love it. Right now we're right opposite the Titan Stadium, so it's getting a bit hectic there. So we can't wait to get a little bit more peace and quiet about 25 minutes northeast of Nashville.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
but no, it's my wife Brandy, just like when we were doing the research, and she's just like, housing market was great. We just loved that environment. I've been to Nashville a bunch of times, played there on the KornFerry Tour, and it was an easy move. It was just there was no second thought, so it was just, let's go.
Wow, good deal. What was your childhood like back in Sydney, and what was your family like growing up? What did your mom and dad do for work? Like, just what was life like back in the day?
Yeah, I had a great childhood. My mum and dad were really relaxed with me. That being a very sporting background, my grandfather, my dad's side, he played top level rugby league, which is like making the NFL. Obviously I had, what else? Dad had a cousin or an uncle, professional boxer. So I grew up with a lot of sporting background. So it was a big deal for my parents to have a little boy to be involved in sport.
Right,
so,
absolutely.
I was surfing, I was playing cricket, I was playing golf, I was playing rugby league, rugby union, soccer, anything with a ball, just give it to me and I'll play.
Yeah.
Mum and dad were so good about that with me, and I met a lot of really great people. I got my coaches over here for a couple of weeks The golf introduced me to them at a young age, at 12, 13, and they're like my second family, and that's been great. Like they're just you tend to, like, you look back now and you look at as your childhood. I'm like, man, I had a really, really cool, fun childhood, and Sydney was a great place to grow up.
Awesome. And how did you get into golf with all that sporting history in your family? How did you pick golf and not
I don't
rugby
know.
league or Aussie rules football or anything like that?
Well, I don't know. I think that's the hunger to work hard at it. Like I was fortunate enough to be really, a good athlete, and and look, what kids are like. You see Kelly Slater on TV, all of a sudden you want to be a world surf champion, and then all of a sudden you're out in the summer playing cricket, and all of a sudden you want to go, bat for Australia, and then the footy season comes on, and all of a sudden you want to go play the NRL. Like that was kind of like me. I would always jump around. Like your dreams change, like in the matter of a couple of months, and but I always had golf, and I was just always really wanting to work hard at my golf. Like I'd play all the other sports, and I just wanted to be able to, get better all the time at golf. Where I wanted to be get better at other sports, but I just didn't want to work as hard, and as I got bigger, stronger, 13, 14, some of those islanders from New Zealand and Fiji and Papua New Guinea. I mean, these boys, like, man, when they hit puberty, like, holy shit, like they turn into a different animal. And it's like, I had to work twice as hard at them. And like, I'm just getting smashed now. So I'm just like, nah, I'm going to go focus on golf. So that's kind of where it led.
When did you realize you were like really good at golf? So you picked it up at 12 or 13. At what point or what age or what moment was it like, oh, I'm kind of good at this? Or did other people tell you, hey, you're pretty good at this?
Yeah, it came in stages. Like I knew I was good young, and my coaches saw that in me pretty young. But like as you kind of as a kid, I needed results a little bit. Then I started to learn how to win, in junior golf in Australia. And I'm like, okay, like I'm starting to beat a lot of kids around the state. And then all of a sudden you move up a level, and now I'm starting to beat a lot of kids around the country. And then that's what moved into amateur golf. And then all of a sudden I, went into amateur golf and got picked in, state teams and started getting picked for Australia, and starting to, win at those levels outside of Australia. And that's when I was I had a big year in 2016. I think I went from like 70 in the world to, top 10 in the world. I won like 5 times. We won the Eisenhower Cup that year. I mean, our team members were Cam Davis, who won Rocket Mortgage last week.
Heck yeah.
Curtis Lark, who's, been a phenomenal player, won the US Amateur. And we just had such a deep depth of guys in my age bracket and my amateur crew that we came through together. Some seriously amazing players. And Min Woo Lee was one of them. He's playing some incredible golf at the moment. And when I'm starting to travel and compete and win against some of the best college kids in the US and go to Europe and the Scottish kids. I mean, Robert McIntyre, we used to travel. He used to be in the Scottish team and used to beat each other up and do all that type of stuff. That's when I was like, okay, like I want to go. Like I want to try and get to the tour. And I worked really hard. And that's when I made that decision to pack up everything and after high school and let's come to the States.
So did you play collegiate golf at all?
No. I never went to college. I had a few offers and I was going to go, but that big year I had, that big year in 2016, I ended up staying in Australia and playing for Australia. The system was great for the player development, just because I was able to get treated like a touring pro. Like, you get government funding, and it took a lot of stress off, financially from my mum and dad. So I was able to go and play around the world basically on government money.
Right,
So
yeah.
it was just, and that was all these guys, all the top guys in the country, and just made that decision a little bit easier. I was, we were chatting to Arizona State, probably a great thing I never went there. I might not be here.
You heard a few stories about it.
There would have been a lot. We might be doing another podcast on some other stories if I went there. But yeah, San Francisco, Lamar University. I can't remember. There was a few others too, and it just turned out to be, I'm a huge believer in there's no like regrets. Like there's some things I would have loved to experience it, but I wouldn't be here where I was if I went and did that. Like it would have. You meant to take the road you meant to take, you know, and that was my road.
I read somewhere that you wanted to be an entrepreneur when you were younger.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's just what you say when you don't have a choice. When you
yeah.
don't have an idea of what you want to do, you're like, I'm an entrepreneur. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, the world's an unbelievable place now. Like,
Opportunity.
Like when I play pro-ams and see, I've played a lot of golf with some really high profile people and celebrities and, people that you wouldn't even think like what the areas they're in, what they, how successful they could get. And some of the littlest things makes people so successful. So I think, I don't know what I would have done. Like, it's crazy what's out there. My parents were small business owners. They had a cafe in Australia, and I was just, I wanted to own a cafe when I was a kid. Because when you're a kid, your dad's the coolest thing ever, and that's kind of what I wanted to do. And then you go to play sport, like I said earlier. I'm gonna be Kelly Slater. It's just like little boys and sport and work and all that. You can't make your mind up until you get to a certain age. It's just which is a lot of fun. So I don't know what I would have been. I was too dumb to. I wasn't the most. What do they call it? Academically with it. Like, I pissed off a lot of high school teachers. Let's put it that way.
So was golf always the dream, if you want to call it that? You always, once you found it, you knew this was it.
Yeah. Once I got it, and I got to that age where it was like, let's go. Like, that's all I cared about. Like, and that's when my schooling went to shit. Because it was like
all your time, all your
I'm sitting
focus.
there doing trigonometry crap, and I'm like, when am I going to need this?
Yeah.
Like, why do I need to know Macbeth?
Yeah.
To freaking go play golf.
Right.
Like, that was, obviously, speaking of some regrets, like I wish I took school a little differently.
I think in hindsight, we all do.
Just as you mature and, how you talk to people and things like that. But school wasn't my thing. I just hated being there. Best part about it was the alarm bell that goes off at 3 o'clock. And I'm going home. And Friday afternoons were the best. Like, it was because I get to play golf Saturday, Sunday, and sport and all that type of stuff,
Yeah, absolutely. Who was your biggest inspiration, whether it's athletically or personally? Is it is there a role model out there? Is there a professional golfer that you just idolize?
Yeah, I mean, I've been really fortunate. Golf has really thrown me into a circle of really good people. From a young age, I definitely would have to say my coach, Ben. He's on the bag, actually. He worked for me last week. He's on the bag again this week for me. He did a 2-week deal with me. He's like a big brother to me. His whole family are like a bit of a second family to me. His wife, Abby's unbelievable, and she's looked after me since I was a kid, and all these type of little things, and obviously my dad, and then I came from such a great golf course at Avondale, so I made a lot of really close people there, and then obviously as you move countries, and then you go into you make different relationships with people, and I've got a lot of really cool role models over here. Like Aaron Baddeley's one of them. He's a good mate of mine. There's a ton of guys that just always come in with an open arm a little bit and say, hey, if you need help, like talk to me, like let's like, oh, we'll help the situation. So like that's where I've been super lucky. Like a lot of guys don't get that, and a lot of people don't have that in this world. But I'm pretty blessed to have that.
Did you model your game after anybody? Like your swing, or did like
I mean,
the way
you
you
take
played?
pieces.
Yeah.
I think it's funny. Us players, we get asked that question a lot. But I don't think any player really models themselves after, someone. I think they take pieces from everybody. For me, it was, a little Jason Day, a little Adam Scott. I mean, Greg Norman was way before my time, so I never got to experience him at his great. Like right now, like it sounds funny, but I'm like few guys on the range. Like I see, like Min Woo, the way his pitching action is, and a few technical things he's doing. Like I'm trying to feel a little of that in my game.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things present itself that you take pieces off and then you build it and go from there. It's so funny. Like where we played holes today, and my coach Mark. Well, he was my coach. I got two coaches, right? So I'll elaborate on that. So Ben, who coaches me, his father Mark used to coach me when at 12, but then retired, and Ben took that role. But because Ben's caddying for me this week, I flew both of them over. So I've reversed the role back. So I've gone back to old school coaching, and Mark's known my game since I was 12. And it's so funny. Like, there's a couple of things like in his game, like I'm trying to get a little bit, especially with putting, like little things like that. It's so funny. Like Mark wasn't a tour player or, incredibly good golfer, and, but it doesn't play a whole lot anymore. But there's certain things in his game that I look at and I just go, you know what? Like, that's what I need in mine. Like, I need to feel that, and I need to find a way how to get the body going that way. And it's such a weird game, golf. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you could go out there and swing, and I see something and be, man, you're doing that good. I need to do that. Like that's what a majority of tour players think and do.
Yeah. Absolutely. We talked a bit about your mom and dad a little bit ago. Your mom unfortunately passed due to ovarian cancer in 2012.
Yeah.
You were 16. Who was your mom in your idea? Like, what is the idea of your mother that you hold? Was she a gardener? Was she a good cook? Was she a business professional?
She was everything.
In your idea,
she was the woman, my mom. Like, she was awesome. You want to go to the pub and have a drink with her, she'll let loose, have a great time, and then she'll be a great mom at home. She was she was very, like, she just always knew what to say with me. Like, she knew how to handle me. I wasn't the easiest. I wasn't a troubled kid, but I wasn't the easiest kid. High energy and always sporty. And I think, young boys are always a challenging young. It's like the saying, like, boys are harder young and girls are easy, and then girls turn out harder, and then the boys get easier, right?
Yeah.
So, as a kid growing up, I wanted to do everything. And Mum was really good at handling that with me. Great cook, like, really, really enjoyed, but she was tough on me. She was very, like, I cook one, and I'm very thankful for it now, because I'm the least fussiest eater on the planet. Like, you could throw it out there and I'll eat it. It's like she used to have this thing with me where it's like, I'm only cooking one meal. If you don't like it, you're starving tonight.
Yeah.
And I used to try to like call a bluff on it. Nah, she never budged it. It was, you go to bed hungry, and that was the old school way of parenting. Like, it was just, I if I didn't like something, too bad, learn to like it.
Yeah.
And I'm very thankful of that now, because, like, I've been to places that a lot of people probably haven't even heard of before, and I'm not scared to try something. And that was big. I thank my mum for that, because it was just, it was just like, no bullshit with her. Like, it was just like, nah, too bad. I'm not making another meal.
Yeah,
like, this is what we're
absolutely.
cooking. This is what
That's
we're eating.
that's the same way it was in my house.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, now, the other day I went to the supermarket and like kids are controlling the grocery list, and I'm just like, I told my wife, I'm like, if we have a kid, there is zero chance that's happening.
And then look at what's in the cart when they control the grocery
I know,
list.
you got Lucky Charms in there, you got freaking
Potato
donuts.
chips
It's crap. Like, and then they
There's no
wonder why,
whole food.
and then they wonder why their kids are going nuts. Like, it's like it was just there's certain things like the old way of parenting was great. My mum and dad was super old school about it.
Yeah.
Loved it. It was great. When they had the coffee shop, it was a lot of fun because like I'd leave school. I was only in elementary school at the time, and and all my school buddies knew mum and dad had the coffee shop, and like we would always like go to the coffee shop after school, and mum would make us sandwiches and food, and dad would make milkshakes, coffees, whatever it may be, and like I was so young and stupid and didn't realize mum and dad are paying for all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were just so generous with that. So like, I used to, I'll get you free food, and all this.
Free,
and
free.
They come in and hang out, and that's what we used to do. And then if we had homework, things like that, like mum and dad would like call my buddy's parents and be like, Ben and Matt's over, like they're with us, like we'll drop them home, like you know what I'm
They're
saying?
not lost. They're over here.
Yeah, they're here. They're just don't worry, they're doing the homework, whatever it is. Like, yeah. So that was it was a lot of fun like that,
Amazing. When she passed, did that take a toll on you golf wise? And how did it change like your passion for the game? Were you more driven, working harder, or did you go into a lull when that happened?
I mean, yeah, it came later with me. That again, going back to regrets, I really wish I got help. When I was pretty young, I was 15, and it's. I thought I was okay, but I wasn't, and it wasn't until about 18, 19 I really started, going down drugs, alcohol, and you just, and it's not at the time. It's like I didn't realize how sad I was until I was going down that road. And then, I think I would have been maybe about 20 actually. And I had a buddy just like, he pulled me aside he's been suicidal before. He's been in a really bad place. And he says, mate, you're not good. And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, mate, like you always got a beer in your hand. You're drunk all the time. I can tell by your personality, you're up and down. He says, mate, I've been through this road and I know what, depression looks like, and you need to get help. And I was like, and he was a really good buddy of mine, so I trusted him, so it wasn't like Joe Schmo up the street, doesn't know it. He knows everything about me, and we spent a lot of time together, and I'm like, okay, like, and then I went and got help. And then that's when I realized like, I've got a lot of stuff to deal with, like, and we went down that road, and those like couple of years, those couple of years were really tough for me. Just battling a bit of addiction, not as motivated, then get motivated, but then things don't happen your way and get really down, and resolving it to alcohol and drugs and partying. And, I had a couple of bad relationships. It just got messy, and it wasn't, and I look at it now and it's like, it's normal. Like I'm not sitting here crying wolf about it. Like I think people go through a lot of challenges, and a lot of people have, there's no such thing as I'm a huge believer in, there's not someone that's got it harder than others. Like someone always does, but everyone's got their own story, why they do things. And that's what I learn a lot. And that was my story. That was my coping mechanism, like it was just, you're alone a lot, and that was the way I handle it. And yeah, I just had to dig a way out of it.
So it sounds like you and a couple of your friends got closer through that experience, or
it narrows your circling.
Right.
Like you learn when you go down there who to like fuck off and who to keep. Like you really learn
That
how
true
to.
core.
Oh man, the amount of people I cut from my life
Yeah.
during that period,
Yeah.
and how to read people and see people was just like incredible.
Yeah.
And I look at it now, and I feel like I'm smarter now. I still get help with like I still talk to therapy, and I struggle. I've struggled in and out of depression, and a lot of that resolves back to my mum. And but I know now, I know how to read myself better, so I know when I'm going down that road, I know who to call, and I know what needs to be addressed in the right way. Like as in, I've had a bit of a tough year this year, and I could see myself mentally going back that way a little bit. And now I feel like I've gotten back consistent work with that type of stuff, and I feel great. Like I had a disappointing last week. I'm in a bit of a rut at the moment with my game. I feel like it's really close. I just not getting the results I want, but I it's a bit easier to see that side a little bit more than than I did a few months ago. Like I'm in a rut. I can't get out, and so like I'm a huge fan of therapy. I think it's seriously important. Helped me a lot. It doesn't work in 5 minutes, but if you just keep working with it, it's amazing how you change your views and see things a little bit differently.
Did you and your father become closer at all?
Oh,
through that?
absolutely.
Okay.
Dad and I are great. Like I've always had a great relationship with Dad, but Dad had a pretty tough role. I mean, Dad had to really, he was a single father, and I mean, a single father dealing with a 16-year-old kid with a drug and alcohol problem,
Right.
and like it's not easy. Like I couldn't, I've tried to apologize, but it is nothing. It's nothing to be sorry about. It's just, being a kid.
Yeah.
But my dad was always, we're super close. We've always really been tight. Actually, I called him last night. We had a chat. He's super excited. A new chapter in his life now. He's putting his house up on the market. He wants to do some traveling.
Amazing.
All that type of stuff.
Come follow you, ideally.
Yeah, he wants to come over here a little bit. He loves the States. I'm trying to get him. He's got a great group of guys that he plays golf with and, goes to the pub with and all that type of stuff. And, they're super successul and they go to Europe. They go on these cruises and, Dad never goes. And I'm like, Dad, just go. Like last year, no, it was like earlier this year. There was I think a few of his buddies went to Singapore or something. I'm like, Dad, I'll pay for the trip. Just go, mate. Like you gotta go. And he's too stubborn. He won't let me chip in for it. And I'm like, Dad, man, like you ain't getting younger, pal. Like you gotta go and enjoy your life, mate. And he's been but his main priority was me, and as you get older and you see it, because like my wife and I now are down that stage where it's, we've both mentally really prepared if we have a little one or something like that, and you start thinking differently. And I look at it and say, Dad, like I get it, I understand why, like you've sacrificed a lot what you want to do and make sure I was good. So yeah, no, I've been super lucky. I've had great parents. They've been, sadly, I wish one was still around, but I mean, but it is what it is. I mean, I can't change what happened,
Absolutely. I want to ask about your golf routine. So what does your tournament prep actually look like when you're preparing for a tournament? Let's say like today is Monday. Let's say you have a different tournament that's not John Deere Thursday. How are you preparing for a course maybe the week in advance? Are you training? Are you dieting? Are you working on swing mechanics? Like what exactly are you trying to nail down before you go to an event?
Yeah, like the routine always typically sticks the same. I build up, first priority is, have something to eat, you have your breakfast, you put your fuel in and get the body prepared. I'll see the physio guys, get that, like the therapy trucks, depending on how the body's feeling. If I'm not battling with something, but if something's not where I want it, tightness wise, I might have a lighter workout or something like that. Just that's my main priority, and then I'll putt, chip, pitch,
Yeah.
hit, drivers, and then go ready and go play. But going back to like mechanically feels and stuff like that, like last week was it was a great example coming into this week. I putted poorly last week, but it wasn't stroke related. It was speed related. So, we established that on Thursday afternoon. I shot a couple over on Thursday afternoon. We practiced late. Did some really good speed stuff. Front nine. I really, I felt like I built something in, and it's not necessarily the next week, but it's you're building for the following week and the following week and the following week. It's like, so we established something with that. So it's like, I'm gonna have to go nuts and play well, to get into the weekend. And I think I would have had to shot 5 or 6. No, I was gonna have to shoot 6 to play the weekend. And I think I only shot 1 under out of bad. I mean, I was getting aggressive.
Yeah.
I was trying to press. I had to finish birdie to at least get into the weekend.
Yeah.
So I hit a couple of shots I wouldn't have normally hit, but in those situations you kind of do. But that whole, I feel like I got a lot out of that round into this week. I feel like I gained momentum. I worked on, I was working on feels throughout that round to create into this, and we were working on those feels again today, and then I'll work again on it tomorrow and the next day. That's kind of what guys do, and that's the difference I see from the lower levels to the big tour. Lower levels, you'll play with guys who tend to, they're missing a cart and crack the shits a little bit and just like, get me out of here. They start just not really honing in. Sometimes they're like great opportunities because it's like, I've got an opportunity to find something into the following week. And I did a really good job of that when I won on the KornFerry tour. I was lost before I won. Holy shit. I'm 99.9% sure the week before in Texas, I shot 5 under on Friday to miss the cut by 5. But then that 5 under I shot, I felt like it was borderline. I felt like I had the swing yips. I had no mental confidence.
Yeah.
I was putting it. I couldn't pitch. I was making dumb mistakes. I was just, golf was hard. It was just throwing curveball after curveball after curveball at me. And I finally found that round, and I knew I was missing the cut that week. And I found that round where I just saw some flow in my game again. And I just, I saw the simplicity side of it. And then I go out the following week and win by 5.
Right.
But that round was, I worked on through that round into the following week.
Yeah.
And I think that's what us players, I'm right now, I feel like I'm not lost in my game at all right now, but I'm just going through, every golfer goes through it. It's just tough. It's a hard game. And, golf's not really giving me a whole lot right now, but I feel like it will.
Yeah.
And I'm at a point now where it's like I've gone back to what I did, the processes I did then, and it's like that's what I'm trying to. It's not searching, but it's just like working on simplicity and just like one little thing at a time, and eventually it just takes care of itself over time. And the quicker the quicker you try to find that, the quicker it goes wrong. You just kind of let it happen type thing,
Absolutely. Are you superstitious at all?
No, I think it's
Not at all in life?
stupid. Nah.
Okay, nothing on the golf
maybe
course?
actually.
You're like, I use the same coin or
Well, it's funny. I mean,
tee it up on the left
I always
side?
use a quarter,
Yeah.
but I'm not superstitious about it. I mean, if you threw me a
You just throw it down. It's
Yeah,
not like it has to be heads up and looking at the hole.
nah,
or-
I think all that's bullshit. That's
Gotcha.
all. That's a.
I
sickness.
definitely don't believe in that either.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it's all. I don't know. I respect people who are, but I mean, I've seen some crazy crap with that, and I'm like, man, You got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Like
You're thinking so much about it.
I know. Like there's so much that goes wrong on a golf course. I don't care if you're I don't care if you're Jesus Christ. Like you're gonna hit a bad golf shot.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
just like it's just the game. Like it's the hardest. It is literally the hardest sport on the planet.
Yeah.
Like,
Totally
period.
agree.
It's just so hard. And like all this superstitious crap. I laugh at some of the stuff. Like I know guys only carry 3 tees at a time in their pocket. Has to be the left pocket and all this stuff. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
you're kidding me, right?
Yeah.
Like how's that gonna the difference of you winning a golf tournament or not? But the power of it though.
It's the mind.
Yeah.
It's that power of the mind thing.
100%. You know?
What does your pre-shot routine look like? Not necessarily superstitious, but what is your, like, before every shot you step behind it and take a look and 2 practice swings? Like, what's your routine look like?
Well, first I get the numbers. Always get the numbers first. You know, and then I'm looking at my book. I'm looking at the shot. You know, and I'm thinking, okay, where can we go? Where can't we go? Trying to think of if we're in a situation where we've only got one option, where we can get the best out of it. If we're in a situation where we've got multiple options, I tend to lead definitely to a green, like I call it a green light shot, my go-to stuff. And then it's simply just, I'm visualizing that golf shot behind. I'm rehearsing the feel that I want, and then I just execute. That's kind of, I think most guys do. Obviously there's certain things and tweaks and, you know, like I remember talking to Jason Day about this, last year, you know, like breathing's a big thing for him. You know, so everyone's got their own little things. Me, I'm just, you know, like longer I look at it, the more I'm going to talk myself out of it.
Right.
You know, it's just like, I've got the number, I've got the clubs, I've got 14 clubs in the bag for a reason. I know what I'm doing. Like, and let's just stick to the process and go. And if I hit a good one, I hit a good one. If I hit a bad one, deal with it. And I try to deal with it.
Yeah.
And then, go forward from there.
Yeah. So you're a feel player,
I'm a
not
big
like
feel
a
player.
numbers. You just
Yeah.
roughly the numbers this. You stand over it and you go, it's not a 9, it's an 8.
I
It's an 8.
I do all my numbers. Like I know each week I'll recalibrate all my numbers because every week's a different environment. Some weeks the ball goes further, some weeks it goes shorter. You know, grass reacts differently. So I'm always big, but that's my Monday to Wednesday prep. You know, that's, you know, if I work hard on those areas on Monday to Wednesday, by the time Thursday comes around, I'm, you know, it's just about playing golf.
Absolutely.
You know?
What are the worst conditions, course conditions or weather conditions that you've ever played in professionally or an amateur event? Or
There's been a few.
so I've been in like frozen rain, like not quite snow, but like 40 degrees and windy and like it's piling up on the greens, and just like utter downpours.
Yeah.
But from a professional point of view,
Oh man,
conditions,
I've had
course and weather.
I've had some doozies. One that comes to mind, I played in the amateur. I played a couple of British Ams. I mean, I played three of them. Where were they? Carnoustie, Royal Porthcawl, somewhere else. I played somewhere else. I had a British Am. Anyway, we're in Royal Porthcawl in Wales, and the first hole is one of the toughest tee shots in golf. Like they had the British seniors there a bunch of years for a number of years, and it's one of my all-time favorite golf courses. So if you're ever in Wales or anyone wants to go to Wales, like you got to go play Royal Porthcawl. It's incredible. And so it's about back tees. It's about 470 something yards, 460 odd yards, maybe more. You got the beach left, and then right are all pot bunkers and thick grass that you're not even finding your ball in around these bunkers. So you just got to step up and hit a golf shot. And I remember having like a 3:30 tee time, right? So it doesn't get dark over there until 10:30 at night. So all the events over there, as you see with British Opens and stuff like that, you see guys tee off 4 o'clock, and I remember I had a 3:30 tee time, and it was pissing down. Like it was coming in off the beach, Like there was no point having an umbrella. Like you're just getting wet anyway.
Yeah.
And they're like the Americans who are playing over there. Like this is a joke. Like why are we playing? And it's like it's just links golf. These things can't. But the tee shot, the tee kind of is pointing not only left, but it's spaced like up against the beach. So like when the wind and the rain is coming off that beach, like 80% of that ball flight is on the beach. Like,
Yeah.
and you just hope it comes back. If you flip it a little and it's just fighting the wind, you're reloading.
Or the
Like,
wind dies for
or the
2
wind
seconds.
dies.
Yeah.
But then if you afraid of that and flare cut it, it's like it's gone anyway. So like you're gonna make 5 or 6. I remember like looking at the leaderboard in the hotel before I was going out, and I'm just seeing 2 over through 1, 1 over through 1, 3 over through 1, 6 over through 1, 2 over through 1.
Wow.
Like it was. I think there was. I remember that like the first round that day. I think the leader was like even par 1 under, maybe through the turn. Like maybe, like it was, and I'm sitting there going, "How good's this?" Like, I love this type of golf, right? Like, and then when I got up there, I was like shitting myself on that tee shot. I was like, I missed this golf shot. I could be here all day. I might not finish. Like, it was so hard.
Unreal.
Torrey Pines can throw some wild weather, same as Pebble. Yeah, Pebbles. Whew, we had a wild one at Pebble. We had hail. That's right. Pebble Beach Pro Am last year. I was playing with Josh DeMel and Jason Bateman, and both guys are great. I Jason's awesome, and I still talk to him quite a little bit at the moment. And I remember we were playing. We get to 8, and you know how like that was the first time I looked at that cliff where Spieth hit that shot, and I didn't realize like he was like 2 feet from dying off that shot. Like the thing's just straight vertical drop. And we get there, and it wasn't that, it was so windy. Like I hit 6 iron into 7, the par 3.
Yeah, short par 3.
It was whipping. It was so hard. And I ended up hitting a 6 iron. And it was getting a bit borderline stupid. And what like officials haven't called it yet. And but it was just kind of like semi-dark, wasn't dark, whatever. So I hit my shot, hit a good one down 8, get up there, and it just starts hailing. Like coming in off the it just came out of nowhere. And we sat in the clubhouse for at least 2-3 hours just waiting, and it's the wind stayed. It was brutal. That place, and the greens got soft, and they all had back pins, so you couldn't get close. It was so hard to get close. But that was some wild. Other than that, I mean, the tour's always they're good at protecting what guys want. I mean, you always get a year or a week where you might get some funky weather somewhere, but like the only places I can think of is links golf over in Scotland, Wales, Ireland, where it's just
they just play through everything.
The golf courses can handle it. Over here, golf courses can't handle the weather as much. Where the links golfer can, and even down in Royal Melbourne, Kingston Heath, Metropolitan down in the Sandbelt Peninsula in Melbourne, Australia. You can get some wild stuff down there too, and it's a different animal.
That's down where like the President's Cup was a couple years ago, right?
Yeah. So it's some of the best golf in the world's down there.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
What is your best round you've ever played? Where, when, and can you describe anything of what you were feeling or thinking while it was happening? Score or just like feel, where like you didn't miss a shot. It might not have been your best score ever, but you didn't miss a shot. Or it was the most fun. One of the two.
I mean, okay, if I go score, I shot 10 under this year in the 3rd round at Amex. Wasn't playing hard, but I played nice. I just hit it where I needed to hit it and made putts. And, you know, that was a day where golf felt easy. It was just like, I'm going to hit it here. It goes there. Stare at a 10-footer like a 3-footer. Golf felt pretty easy that day. But I would say on purity, I had a 3 over at St Andrews on the old course once. It was so hard. It was a St Andrews Links Trophy, and it was just whipping. It was just brutal, just so brutal. Like 4 club win, 5 club win, and 3 over par. Like I think I hit 17. You couldn't even get it over the hotel.
Oh wow!
Like you had to go left to the like the hotel. Yeah, like, and I think I hit a bunt 3-wood on the front right corner, and that I remember that I shot 3 over, and I was like taking score out away. I don't think I missed a golf shot. It was just that hard.
Yeah.
Just trying to think too. I've had like I remember like an Asia Pacific amateur too. I had a 5 under on last round at Royal Wellington one time. It wasn't super deep, but it just like the Asia Pacific amateur, they kind of did some stupid pins and just they didn't set it up great. And yeah, I felt like I just went out and I just hit every target. I felt like I didn't really hit a bad shot. I just made putts when I needed to. I mean, that was a really solid round of golf. I mean, you just don't really pay attention too much. Some stand out, but I think the only thing I can say that stood out was that 3 over on the old course. That was an amateur and St Andrews Links Trophy. My God, like unbelievable. Like 18, I hit up the 8th. I mean, 18th. I've played at Dunhill Links there before, and I've driven that green before, and up 18, I think I hit a hard flighted 7-iron into 18 green. It was brutal that day, and I just flushed it. I feel like I played great.
Unreal. What do you think the hardest part of professional golf is?
I think the life around it. We're away so much. Like people just don't. I just don't like. I just don't think they understand what goes behind the scenes a lot in professional golf. You know, so many guys have wives, kids, families, and you're away from them so much. Like it's the prizes and the outcome of good play is so dramatic and it's so amazing. But like, you know, you're living your life in hotels. You just, you know, I'm away. I don't see my wife for 25 to 30 weeks of the year. You know, when obviously she might come out here and there, but it's just, you know, like that's the heart. Like it's the goodbyes. You know what I mean? I don't think, you know, when we show up to a tournament, like I was talking to Jason Day a little bit today, just briefly, like just, you know, hey, how are you type thing, and just like a little perspective. You know, he's got a huge family now, and his life's incredible. I mean, he's had an amazing career, made a shit ton of money. You know, he's been the best player in the world for so many years, and he still is. And you know, like even he would say, like, it's tough to say goodbye to my kids and my wife. I've got to go to work. Yeah. You know, I've got to go play. You know, like you know, once you get out and you're fine, but there's like those little tiny things. I think, you know, every tour player would be like, yeah, you know, like kind of sucks saying goodbye to my little daughter for 4 weeks, 5 weeks in a row. You know, like I think like those little things you miss out on a lot. You know, like I can't wait to have kids. I really can't. But that'll be the next mental toughness challenge for me, you know, like if you have a little daughter, miss her taking to dance or whatever it may be, and you have a son, little leagues, whatever it may, like they're the things like as a dad you'd enjoy to do. And when you're tour pro, you miss a lot of that. I think that'd be the biggest challenges I think most guys would face.
Absolutely.
That's why half the guys stay single.
Very true. Until late.
A lot of guys stay single.
Look at Ricky Fowler. He was single till he was 32, 33, 31.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But, I mean, when you meet the right person, though, like, that's the thing. When you meet the right person, though, like, things get easy. Like, now, like, my wife gets it. It's like, you know, it sucks. She hates me going for 5-6 weeks, but she knows, like, it's what I do.
That's part of it.
It's part of my job.
Yeah.
And if she had to do the same, she would she wouldn't expect anything less. I'd have to do the same.
Absolutely.
And that's the right person understands that.
All right, we're gonna get into a speed round of just all your favorite things, just to show who you are. So, favorite color.
Oh, favorite color. I mean, I'm a blue guy. I think blue goes with a lot of things.
Blue's great. Favorite candy.
Oh my God, there's so many. Actually, those Wonka remember those nerd ropes?
Yeah.
And they've turned them into like clusters.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Those things are
amazing. Right?
unbelievable. It's like crack.
Favorite fruit.
Fruit. Mango in the summer's great. Pineapple.
Yeah.
That's why I love when you play Hawaii.
Favorite soda or non-alcoholic drink.
I'm a root beer guy.
Root beer. Diet or regular.
Regular.
Pug or A&W. Mug. Sorry.
Man. I
Or
think
Brock's.
I
Barks. Or just the random, like, in a bottle, cane sugar, like good.
Cane
rich.
sugar's good because it's natural. Like, as in, I shouldn't say natural, but it's a bit more. It's like Mexican
It's
Coke.
not corn syrup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would. You can't go past an A&W. I love an A&W.
Alcoholic drink or cocktail.
I don't really drink. I mean, I went sober for quite some time. I've had maybe 1 or 2 drinks here and there, but I definitely. As a kid, I was a beer drinker. I love beer. And then when I moved over here, and especially when I started making some good money, definitely an old fashioned.
Yeah.
I didn't mind a good cocktail.
Any type of flavor in that old fashioned, or just straight up?
Smoky old fashioned. You get me a smoky old fashioned, it was gonna be a rough night.
Snack food.
Yeah.
Like chips or crackers.
Fruit snacks are great.
Fruit snacks.
The peanut butter at Costco, there's a little peanut butter like pretzels. They are awesome.
Favorite meal for either breakfast, lunch, or dinner, if you could pick one.
Favorite meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Carne asada burrito, like a California burrito or something. I'm a big Mexican eater. I love Mexican food.
Nice. Your go-to sick meal or comfort food. So when you're ill.
Sick food would definitely. I don't mind ramen when you're sick. Ramen's great. Yeah.
Fast food chain or pizza chain. What's your favorite?
Fast food chain.
What kind?
I'm a
brand.
Fast food. I'm a Five Guys. I do like Five Guys. I would say we ate Five Guys last night.
Yeah.
I'm either Five Guys or a Culver's now that I'm on the East Coast.
Culver's is spot on.
In-N-Out Burger on the West Coast didn't do much for. I liked it, but it got old.
You a Chick-fil-A guy?
I do love Chick-fil-A. If I don't feel like a burger, 100% Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
But if I'm down like a greasy cheeseburger, Culver's or Five Guys.
Heck yeah. Your favorite film or show or series?
Film. Actually, I watched. Film. I would say. Man, there's so many good ones. I'm a big Liam Neeson fan. Taken's pretty good. I watched a really good one with him actually for my wife a couple of months ago, or a month and a bit ago. It was one. There's like a bomb gets placed in his car. I forget what it's called.
Speed? Is that it?
No, Speed was the one with
the bus, right?
Yeah, that was the bus with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
But this one, like Liam Neeson's character gets a bomb in his car, and he gets like a bad guy hacks all his phones and tells him what to do, and he's gonna blow the car up. Gotcha. It was awesome. It's based in France. Like he's in France, but he moved there. It was awesome. But TV show.
Yeah.
My top. I've got 3 that are unbelievable. The Gentleman. I'm just watching right now.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I have it on my list.
I loved Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
Big Peaky Blinders guy. And I was huge on Vikings.
Really?
Love Vikings.
That's on my list as well. Haven't watched them yet, but they're in there.
Vikings is incredible.
Really?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Favorite kind or genre of music?
I'm country now, especially
Country?
in Nashville.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite song at the moment, either of all time or recently?
Actually, it's funny. So I got a really good mate. Shout out to my mate Josh Miranda. Played a lot of golf with him. He's a country singer songwriter. In a Beer, he released late. Actually, might have been early this year, maybe late last year, like just around Christmas time. Yeah, In a Beer. I really do like that song a lot. He worked pretty hard on that song, and he's got a few new ones out at the moment. But I love that song he wrote and sang there.
Amazing. For the locals in the Quad City area around the John Deere Classic, have you tried Whitey's ice cream?
No,
That's a local legend around here. So
I heard it's great. I haven't had a chance yet. I did just recently have a really good ice cream at DQ. Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen's a hard one to beat. But I will give Whitey's definitely give him a run this week.
it's a good hard ice cream to go to. Like, so there's like soft serve, like DQ is soft serve. There's like a hard ice cream where you have to scoop it. Like,
yeah, perfect.
that's a great hard ice cream.
Is it like boutique though? Like, cause I'm like a big
No.
like coffee. I love like coffee flavors and like
They do have those. They do have all like
yeah,
the
awesome.
unique flavors. But they're headquartered out of here. They only have like 10 chains in the area.
So Whitey's.
Whitey's ice cream. It's a good basic staple.
Sounds great. I'll definitely give that a go. I'm a big ice cream guy.
What about TPC Deer Run do you think is the hardest part of the course? Well, a hole, or is it the wind, or is the rough thick usually?
Yeah, I think it's shot shaping a little bit around there. That's what I love about that golf course is just, when you might have to hit a draw off a tee and then a cut into the green, and you might hit a cut off the tee and then draw one into a pan. You're always hitting so many different shots out there. And then wind swirls a lot, especially when you get, back of 11 green to 11 tee, on that back nine, like that wind can really, it can really swirl around. You just got to commit, and it's just such a well-designed golf course. It's just awesome. Like, so many guys love playing it. I love it. First time I played it was last year at the John Deere, and I was like, I'm always playing this on my schedule when I can.
What's your favorite part about the course or the tournament in general? The atmosphere, the course
Crowds
itself.
are great. I love the people here. You get some idiots, like, especially the California runs. Like California, God, you get some morons. Go to those events. Like John Deere's great. Like the locals are just fantastic.
Yeah.
Like it's just people come here to watch golf.
Yeah.
They don't come here to like
Party.
Like Phoenix, like Waste Management. It's a music festival. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like it's just like the John Deere to me is your old school, like traditional golf tournament that the locals love, and they wait around 12 months till the next one.
Yeah.
It's
So this is a little insight here. This is the only true professional event that comes to the area. We have a lot of minor league teams. We have minor league baseball, minor league hockey, indoor arena football, and like a small rodeo and some motocross, things like that.
crazy being so close to Chicago.
But
too.
this is the only true professional event that comes to town.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And the volunteers just get into it. Like they just do such a great job. The hospitality in general, like with the locals with us, like it's just so good. Like just like little things, like it. Yeah, when you talk to the volunteers, it's just got a different attitude to you. Like they're just so excited for us to come play.
Yeah. How they say like Southern hospitality?
Yeah.
We call it Midwest nice. Everyone's just Midwest nice.
Yeah.
Just everyone's hanging out, having a good time.
Yeah, where like you go to Chicago, it's like
a little too
going
quick.
going a little million miles per hour.
Yeah.
And Chicago's like slow compared to New York City.
Yeah, absolutely.
And but Chicago's too quick.
Yeah.
Just 3 days is enough there.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you preparing for anything specifically at Deer Run that you're, I guess, looking towards?
Yeah, just working really hard on my speed control. That's all I'm literally working on this week. Just want to really have a good good week with the putter with my speed control. I feel like if I can do that, I can have a good week.
Absolutely. Do you have any advice for the beginners out there who are just getting into golf?
Oh, absolutely. Just get a little bit better. Like always, just a little bit better at a time, and no rush with it. Just pick the little things that you feel like you can. Might be chipping. If you just get a little closer, average a little closer, as it goes. And I would say that. I know it's kind of the obvious, but like just go and have fun with it. Play music, drink a cocktail, like smoke a cigar.
Yeah.
Like
It doesn't need to be so serious all the time.
I know, like this is what does my head in Australia, man. Like I love my country, but I hate going down and playing golf down there. Like not tournament wise, like with
Casual.
with members and
Yeah.
friends. Like I play on the PGA Tour. We play for $10 to $20 million a week, and the guys are more chilled than this crap.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you got nothing. Like you're coming here to socialize.
Yeah.
Like you're coming here to
This is
like
a
get
4
away
hour-
from the wife.
It's a 4-hour hangout.
and the kids. Yeah. Like you get to drink all day. You get to no, can't do that. Like not I don't. It does my head in. I every time I go down, like I'm just like, guys, lighten up. Like if I flick a 2-footer at you, like be happy.
Yeah.
Like who cares, mate? Like it's not serious. Like go and enjoy it. Like and that's my advice over here. Like that's what I love about like social golf in the States.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. Clubs are so lenient. Like pump music. Like get to have a drink out there. Just like that's my vibe. That's why I enjoy pro-ams. I encourage my guys in my pro-am groups to like have a drink, like let loose. Like if you want to hit another shot.
Absolutely.
Like if you like, I don't care. Like if you do whatever you want. If you got your wife outside the ropes, bring her inside the ropes. And if you got your kids, like let them like hit a putt on the putting green, whatever. I don't care. Like
Absolutely.
that's my advice. Like just keep enjoying the game.
What's that course outside of Nashville or in Nashville? Is it Troubadour?
Troubadour, yeah, there's a bunch. Troubadour's where they just had the live event. We used to have the KornFerry event there.
Yeah. That's one of those courses that's like meant to be hospitable to all their guests.
You do
where it's
whatever you
like,
want there.
You do blast music.
You do
drive around.
whatever you want. Like
As big of a group as you want.
But like Old Stone, have been great with me. Like they've given me practice rights up there, and I spent a lot of time up in Old Stone, Bowling Green, Kentucky, and like place is amazing. Like it's a very private golf club, unbelievable practice facilities, and range is incredible. Golf courses, I mean, I would say, and I've said this to people before, it's got the hardest stretch of holes next to Quail Hollow. The opening 4 holes there, like I would say any tour pro, if they're not on, I back them to be 4 over par through 4.
Wow.
Like it's such a tough start to the round. And I don't think there was another tougher stretch that I've ever played was until at Wells Fargo, the last 3 at Quail Hollow. Like but the members when you go to Old Stone, like they're so great to hang out with. Like you just, like they let me kind of do whatever I want practice wise. So I don't have to, feel like I'm stepping on eggshells. And when they go plays, they're so relaxed. It's such a great environment.
And I feel like people in those clubs understand that, like, if you want your privacy, let him have his privacy.
Oh,
like they're not like running up to you being like, "Oh, you're on tour. What are you doing this week?" Like,
yeah, I mean,
they're just like, let him be. Let him.
And it's like it's a game.
Yeah,
like I think that's my biggest thing, and it's just like I just look at these guys, like especially in Australia. Me in Australia, God, like it's like old mate is playing off 10, and he's treating his round like he's down the stretch at a US Open. Like Bryson DeChambeau would have been more relaxed at the US Open.
Yeah.
I look at it and just go like, you kidding me, are you? Like dude,
Give
like
it a
it's
break.
okay, man.
Yeah.
Like you're playing for like 20 cents.
Yeah.
Like don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like,
do you have any advice for the really good golfers or collegiate golfers who are like right on the edge of going pro or at the highest level in college golf and are right there and just need a little bit more advice from someone in your position?
First advice I would give to the college kids: learn to travel. You know, when you're starting coming out, I know the PGA Tour is in the States. I get it. That's the tour you want to be on, but go do your trade outside of America a little bit for a while. Play the Latin Tour. Go try and play Europe. You know, learn what it's like to travel. Because what you got to deal with a lot. You know, there's so many things you're gonna have flight cancellations. You're gonna have hotel problems. You're gonna have lost bags. Like there's so many different things. Like injuries. You know, like. I mean, like I said, like a lot of the players on the tour have wives and all that. I mean, the amount of times you hear a player on the phone, one of their kids is sick, and they got to deal with things like that. You know, there's so many things that come from the outside in, and get good at really trying to learn how to be calm and handle problems the right way, because problems are going to happen. I think that's the biggest shock in professional golf to a lot of guys. Like, it comes so easy, and then it's like the flight gets cancelled and they don't know what to do, and you know, like don't know where to stay. They just got to figure it out. You got to sometimes you got to get thrown in the deep end and know how to swim. You know, It's just that's kind of to the top guys, like learn to figure that out. And also too, just you can't play golf like enough. Like I know some guys are grinders and some guys are players. I respect that. But in the end of the day, professional golf is about playing. It's not slapping ball. We don't get points for slapping balls on a range. We don't get paid extra to sit on the chipping green for an hour longer than everybody else. The putting green, we get paid a lot of money and points for shooting 65, 66 regularly. Right. And my advice is to those guys, just, you know, learn how to do that repetitively, learn how to move those when those rounds aren't great, like get better at those, make those bad rounds good, still in it, and then you move, and like that's kind of my advice. You can't play enough golf.
Amazing. Last thing, are there any shout outs you want to make or sponsors you want to thank? Charities, foundations, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to shout out to, obviously, you know, Bad Birdie. Bad Birdie's been with me for a couple of years now. The great clothing company to work for. Please go online and have a look at their products. It's amazing clothes, out there, wild. It's a lot of fun wearing their stuff. Based in Scottsdale. You know, Petro Canada has been a great partner of me for, you know, my professional career. And then obviously Ping, you know, best brand in golf in my opinion. And if you're needing drivers and equipment and all that type of stuff, like Ping know what they're doing. So they've got a lot of great players, and equipment's incredible.
Good deal. Where can everybody find you? Social media?
Instagram, X, Twitter. What is it now? X.
All of them.
Twitter. I'll say Twitter. Facebook. I'm not a social media guy. I don't post a whole lot. I'll pop up occasionally here and there when I need to, and I'm more of a wake up and scroll through reels for a little while type of guy.
Same.
There's some funny shit out there right now.
Do you have a tee time for Thursday, Friday yet?
Thursday we get tee times on Tuesdays, so
gotcha.
tee times will come out tomorrow afternoon. So, and then I'll play. I think I'm playing the Pro-Am on Wednesday. So yeah, no, it should be great.
Good deal, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, anytime. No, I love being on. I appreciate it. So.
It means a lot. Thank you.
Awesome.
A lot can happen in a beer. You can take a shot and take that chance. Ask that girl if she wants to dance. You can laugh and love or shed a tear. A lot can happen in a beer. Yeah.